You're watching Toyota Sports Extra with Lina Washington.
Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Toyota Sports Extra after the NBA playoffs on ABC 10. I'm Lina Washington. Hope you enjoyed that first round matchup between the Celtics and the Pacers. Game 3 in the books, and Boston has a commanding 3-0 series lead, just one win shy of completing the series sweep in the Eastern Conference. And closer to home, the Western Conference series between the defending champion Golden State Warriors and the Clippers took to LA last night for Game 3 of their first round matchup. The Dubs coming off a historically bad loss in Game 2 on Monday night in Oracle, where they blew a 31-point lead and lost center DeMarcus Cousins to a quad injury. The back-to-back champs clapping back against the Clippers last night with a convincing 132-105 win to take a 2-1 series lead, with Game 4 coming up on Easter Sunday right here on ABC 10. The Warriors and the Clippers have both picked up wins on the road in this series, but Golden State set an NBA record last night in their last 20 playoff series. The Warriors have won at least one game on the road, which is the best mark in the history of the NBA. And the Dubs absolutely shutting down the Clippers starters, allowing just one of them to finish in double digits in scoring. Kevin Durant was having his way with the Clippers, finishing with a game-high 38 points and a wire-to-wire win for the Warriors, who are looking to steal another game at Staples Center on Sunday.
The beauty of Kevin is that he can score even if the play's not called for him. And I thought last night it was kind of a combination. He was super aggressive, and we tried to make a point of getting him the ball too. DeMarcus is home. He's not on the trip, and obviously it's just not an easy thing for anybody to go through an injury that like he did last year.
Of course, we are wishing Boogie a speedy recovery, but ABC 10 is the place to be. If you are a basketball fan, we've got an Easter Sunday doubleheader coming up this weekend. Game 4 of that Celtics-Pacers series, where Boston is going for the sweep, coming up at 10 in the morning, and then the Warriors and Clippers tipping off Game 4 at 12:30. Sticking with the NBA, reports surfacing today that the Lakers have interest in handing their keys to their organization over to Pat Riley, a familiar name there. He's currently the president of the Miami Heat, but ESPN is reporting that Lakers owner Jeannie Buss is hoping to woo Riley back to come back to La La Land, where he was the head coach of the Showtime Lakers long ago. Earlier this week, Riley was asked about the Lakers job, and he said he would absolutely be staying in South Beach. We'll see about that. Meanwhile, the Sacramento Kings made moves quickly after their season ended last Wednesday, firing Dave Yeager and officially hiring Luke Walton as their new head coach just days after he and the Lakers parted ways. The Kings introducing their new head coach on Monday, and you can find that full press conference on our ABC 10 YouTube channel. But in case you missed it, here are the 5 big takeaways from Coach Walton's first day on the job.
These type of opportunities don't come available very often with this type of talented team, and then doing it alongside somebody that, the way I feel about Vlade made it just too good to pass on.
Well, it happened on Friday when he was available, and I was very excited that we set that meeting and we talked, and I knew right there, I want my guy. That was a process, very quick.
There's the respect and history that comes from playing with Vlade, and if you're really in it, and your teammates, that those bonds last for a lifetime. So there's trust that's already between us that would take years to build.
I follow his career just like I'm sure he followed mine. So we know about each other a lot. So I didn't want to waste time, because I felt very confident that that's the right guy for us to go to the next level.
I think it's a great group that Vlade has put together here. Very excited about getting to know these guys and getting to coach them. But they're all still in those phases of their career that they can make big jumps. And I think, Marvin, Fox, these guys, they can do it. And I think they will do it. But it's not just one or two guys. It's really the whole group that can still continue to make big strides. From what I've been told and what I've seen from this core group of players here, they're on the right track right now. the work starts as soon as we. Well, maybe not as soon as we get done with this press conference, but the work starts tomorrow, really. Very excited about the fact that, they got this beautiful arena, practice facility, and obviously Sacramento's always had one of the best crowds in the NBA as far as the support they get, the type of atmosphere they have at their games. So we're ready to get to work.
All right, turning to baseball, where earlier this week the Oakland Athletics did something they're not known for doing. They signed one of their young up-and-coming stars to a contract extension to keep that talent rooted in Oakland. Yeah, that means many more years of salutes like this coming from Chris Davis. Crush Davis and the A's agreeing to a 2-year deal, extending the slugger to stay in the East Bay. Davis even appearing to take less money to stay in Oakland. He's been the most productive power hitter in the game during his time with the Athletics. He's even leading the majors in home runs so far this season. He's hit more homers than Bryce Harper and Giancarlo Stanton over the last few years, and those players are making over $300 million. Davis really wanted to stay in Oakland, though, and even though he's a man of few words off the baseball field, his manager, Bob Melvin, says this young star leads by example.
For a guy that doesn't say much publicly, if you see our post-game celebrations and you talk about leadership, he's usually right in the middle of all those. So there's a time when he does speak, and his teammates know that. He's a huge part of this team, and an exciting day for all of us.
I just love coming to the ballpark. That's where I spend most of my days coming. The Coliseum, just the players I get to play with. It's been over the years I've been with Oakland, I've learned a lot.
Great stuff there. And if you are an A's fan, the team wants to see you at the state capitol on Monday. The team is holding a rally for AB 1191, supporting the development of a new ballpark on the waterfront of Jack London Square in Oakland to go along with housing and retail there. It's all going down Monday afternoon at 1:30. The rally will take place again in front of the state capitol on 10th Street. And we'll be bringing you up to speed on the NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and everything you need to know in the world of sports every Sunday night on Toyota Sports Extra during its regularly scheduled time at 11:35, right after the LNT on ABC 10. I hope to see you then. The news is next. Well, we've seen our first team advance in the NBA playoffs, and the Oakland A's are asking for your show of support at the state capitol tomorrow afternoon. And we've got a lot to cover on this Easter Sunday edition of Toyota Sports Extra on ABC 10. The defending champion Warriors put on a show in LA, and they're coming back to Oakland with a 3-1 series lead. We'll show you how the Dubs got it done as the NBA playoffs continue. And the San Jose Sharks do their thing in Las Vegas, a double overtime thriller in the Stanley Cup playoffs to force Game 7. You won't want to miss how this one ended. And we're making a great first impression on the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Luke Walton will take you inside his introduction with Kings GM Vlade Divac coming up. Plus, we've got the latest on Sacramento's push for Major League Soccer, and I'll let you know which local football stars to watch for this week's NFL draft. Stick around. Toyota Sports Extra is coming up in just a few minutes right here on ABC 10. It's going to be a good way to close out the Sunday, Mike.
Sure will. Can't wait to tune in. So we want to remind you that there are still time.
You're watching Toyota Sports Extra.
Welcome to Toyota Sports Extra on ABC 10. I'm Lina Washington. Happy Sunday. Thanks for closing it out with me tonight. The defending champion Warriors are putting on a show in LA, and they're coming back to Oakland with a 3-1 series lead in the NBA playoffs. We will show you how the Dubs got it done as the postseason continues. And the San Jose Sharks, in a game for the ages, records fall as Team Teal looks to force a Game 7 tonight in Las Vegas, and you won't want to miss how this one ended.
People who go, we could have coached the Warriors to 50 wins and into the playoffs with that kind of talent. How do you look at that?
I would love to watch them go in there and coach that group.
Yeah, we're making a great first impression on the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Luke Walton will take you inside his introduction with Kings GM Vlade Divac coming up. But of course, we begin tonight with the NBA playoffs, and we're about a week into the postseason. Basketball fans were locked in on ABC 10 today for an Easter Sunday doubleheader, and we saw one team fall victim to the sweep. 3 teams took commanding 3-1 series leads in their respective matchups, and we saw the defending champion Warriors getting one step closer to advancing to the second round of the playoffs with their Game 4 against the Clippers tipping off at Staples Center in LA. And the Dubs coming in with a 2-1 series lead. They've been locked in since their Game 2 loss in Oakland last week. Kevin Durant leading the Warriors wire to wire in Game 3 in their win, and that set up a must-win situation essentially for the Clippers today. KD leading the Warriors in scoring with 33 points, but Klay Thompson added 32 of his own, scoring 27 of them in the first half. The Warriors defense keeping the Clippers leading scorers Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell in check. A tough game for Steph Curry, meanwhile, finishing with just 12 points off 3 of 14 shooting. He only hit 1 of his 9 3-point shots. But with the Warriors all-star lineup, they seem to be in control of their playoff destiny, and the defending champions handle business in LA, picking up a 113-105 win. They now lead the series 3-1, and they have a chance to close it out in Oakland on Wednesday.
When Klay gets going like that, it fuels the whole bench. You can see everybody jumping around. Everybody gets happy. We all love when Klay gets hot. It's it fuels our momentum.
We have our eyes on the other teams playing, and we see Houston being up 3-0, chance to close it out. We didn't want to extend this series any longer because we know how grueling the playoffs can be. We already let one slip away, so tonight we came in with that mindset to, put our, foot on the throttle and not let go. I didn't think I had bad games, but I didn't have any big games. I told Jonas yesterday, we went to the beach, played some volleyball. I'm like, I'm just going to go jump in the ocean. I just know that will reset my mind, and it worked. So I don't know if I'm going to jump up north because it's freezing, but something I'll definitely contemplate if I don't shoot the ball that well the rest of the year. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, it's only weird if it doesn't work, right? Klay jumping into the ocean, leading the Warriors to victory, much to the horror of Steve Ballmer, the Clippers owner. That's quite the facial expression there. As the Clippers fall to a 3-1 series deficit as they return to the Bay Area for Game 5, a series clincher for the Warriors, potentially, as they look to advance to the next round. They'll face the winner of the Houston Rockets-Utah Jazz series, and the Rockets lead that series 3-0. The Warriors and the Clippers Game 5 coming up from Oracle on Wednesday. Tip-off set for 7:30. So it sure to be rocking there on Wednesday as the Dubs continue their final season in Oakland before they head to San Francisco. You heard Klay Thompson say they let their last game in Oakland slip away in Game 2, and he vows they're not going to let that happen again in the postseason. As the Dubs are going for the three-peat, we'll be talking more about the NBA playoffs in 30 seconds. Elsewhere in the NBA playoffs, we'll stay in the Western Conference. Russell Westbrook and the Thunder looking to pick up another win in their series against the Portland Trail Blazers. Russ was held to just 14 points in this game, and he scored all of them in the first half. Portland was able to hold Westbrook scoreless in the second half. Paul George led the Thunder in scoring with a game-high 32 points. But that backcourt of Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, they combined for 52 points tonight as the Blazers cruise in this series against the Thunder. 111-98 is the final from Game 4 in OKC. Portland can close it out on Tuesday.
I think up and down the roster, it's we're locked in on what we want to do coverage-wise, and we're giving good effort. So we need one more game like that.
We came out the locker room saying, turn it up, get more aggressive on offense, keep trusting each other, but let's tighten up on defense. And we did that, and I was able to get rolling on the offensive end.
All right, to the east, let's head to the Magic Kingdom. The Magic hosting Toronto and Kawhi Leonard. His Raptors looking to take a 3-1 series lead, but early in this one is coach Nick Nurse setting the internet ablaze, going viral, as the kids say, with his reaction here to a 3-second call on his point guard, Fred VanVleet. He held this for like 15 seconds, this state of shock here, and that expression, soak it all in all its glory. And there you go, Nick Nurse. The meme of memes now in the NBA playoffs. Despite coming into tonight with a 2-1 series lead, the Raptors needed a bounce-back win from Kawhi Leonard, a bounce-back game, rather, after a poor shooting night in Game 2, and they got just that. 34 points for Leonard, his Raptors cruising. 107-85, the final from the Magic Kingdom, and the Raptors can clinch this series with a win at home on Tuesday. All right, let's get you out to Indiana. The Celtics going for the sweep and looking to become the first team to advance in the NBA playoffs. That's Victor Oladipo making his first public appearance and suffering a season-ending knee injury back in January. His team facing elimination at home, and it was a homecoming game for Gordon Hayward. The Celtics guard leading Boston in scoring off the bench with 20 points, and the Celtics making quick work of the Indiana Pacers, completing the series sweep with a 110-106 win today. And it looks like the C's will likely be facing the top-seeded Bucks in their second-round matchup.
We knew it was going to be a tough game. Closeout games are always really tough, and just proud of us for finding a way to win. Thought we did that throughout the series, and tonight was no different. So it's good that we can kind of heal up a little bit. Then we have a lot of time to prepare for the next one too.
All right, so Kyrie Irving and the Celtics completing the sweep. They'll be looking to get some rest before they advance to the second round. Again, they will likely face the Bucks, who are going for the sweep of Detroit. The Warriors already looking ahead to the Rockets, as you heard there, and they're on the verge of sweeping the Jazz. So it looks like all roads to the NBA Finals are going to go through Oakland and Milwaukee. And, of course, you can follow it all right here on ABC 10. And when we come back on Toyota Sports Extra on ABC 10, Game 6, elimination game, double overtime, what you don't want to miss from tonight's thriller with the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And one of the best power hitters in all of baseball opting to stay in the East Bay. We're hearing from the man the Oakland A's are rewarding with a contract extension. And Oakland was the place for some of the best plays in all of sports this week. We have one to show you today, and it'll still come in the show. How about Freddie Galvis? Yesterday, though, the Blue Jays shortstop making a barehanded catch over the shoulder, robbing Josh Fagley. Check it out again. Still early in the season, but this could be the catch of the year. I don't know how you do that, but that is up for debate, whether or not it's the catch of the year. We'll show you what the A's and the Blue Jays had to deliver in this game as Freddie Galvis delivers. All right, welcome back. Let's talk some hockey. The San Jose Sharks coming into tonight's Game 6 in Las Vegas, looking to bring Game 7 back to the tank. The Sharks having to battle back from a 3-1 series deficit in this series. It's been high scoring throughout all these games leading up to tonight's Game 6, and they were facing elimination. With a win tonight, the Team Teal would be bringing 2 words to every sports fan's ears that they just love to hear, and that is Game 7. Tonight, an instant classic. 3 periods wouldn't be enough to decide this one. Like their win in Game 5, San Jose would strike first. In the closing seconds of the opening period, Logan Couture from Timo Meier with the game's first goal. Vegas tying it up in the second period, though, and we head to sudden death overtime. Playoff hockey is the best, folks. Look how close, though, the Sharks come to winning the game here. The puck going behind the back of Marc-Andre Fleury. So close, but somehow it doesn't cross the line. John Merrill and Colin Miller somehow keeping the puck out of the net. So overtime continues with the season on the brink for the Sharks. They get an absolutely legendary performance from their goalie, Martin Jones. But then in the second overtime, because we needed 2, Vegas on the power play, 5-on-4 advantage. Doesn't matter because Tomas Hertl comes up with the game winner, a shorthanded goal to keep the Sharks alive and force a decisive Game 7. Vegas stunned. The Sharks bench going crazy. Hertl's 5th goal of the series, and Jones setting a team record with 58 saves. That's a beauty. Game 7 coming to the tank on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. Obviously, we stuck with it the whole night. Give our guys a lot of credit. Had some huge penalty kills in overtime in the third, and everybody chipped in with stuff today.
Amazing for sure, it was a huge win, but we can just thank, to Jonah because he was unreal, he got over 50 saves and he was just doing amazing job for us, and we can just thank you to him, we still alive. Huge game for us because we got now the home ice, and after this huge win, we have to just finish it, and it will be really hard, but, that's why we play hockey, for these games, like that, and now it's Game 7, it can be nothing better than in playoff Game 7, so I can wait for it.
We still got one more game. Obviously, it's going to be the toughest one, and we'll get some rest and get ready to go.
All right, Tomas Hertl going down in history tonight, becoming the first player in NHL history to score a shorthanded goal in a postseason game that required multiple overtimes. And before tonight, only 8 other players in league history have scored a shorthanded goal in the first overtime of a postseason game. Game 7, again, coming Tuesday night in San Jose. It's going to be a good one. Cannot wait. And I know a lot of Sharks fans are holding their breath until Tuesday. Now, turning to baseball now. The Giants continue their East Coast road trip, and they are closing out their series in Pittsburgh today, looking to steal a win against the Pirates, and it was a big day for Buster Posey. He broke out of his home run slump at just the right time. The Giants all-star hasn't hit a homer since June of last year. That's 237 at-bats without a dinger for Posey. That's the longest drought in his career, but with this one swing of his bat, he put that drought to bed. Put the Giants on top with a 3-run homer, and the Giants pitcher, Derek Rodriguez, with another solid outing, allowing just 2 runs off 3 hits as the Giants pick up a much-needed win 3-2 the final from Pittsburgh. They head to Toronto for 2 games on Tuesday. Now in Oakland today, that's Ramon Laureano. He's already a lock for a Golden Glove award in center field. The A's trying to avoid getting swept by the Blue Jays today, and Laureano playing with the play the A's fans, I should say, will remember for a long time, robbing Teoscar Hernandez of a homer, overthrowing first base Nick Hundley, backing up, then a double up on Smoke there at second. An incredible double play. Here's how it sounded on the radio.
High fly ball, left center field. Laureano going back to the track and right to the wall. The ball carries, and he caught it, leaped over the wall, made the catch. How do you like that?
That is unbelievable. Oh my gosh.
That may be the greatest double play you've ever seen. He's near the wall, and it is.
Pretty incredible. Not technically a double play by the rule book, but still an incredible sequence of events leading to 2 outs, so still getting the job done. A reaction from the A's Brett Anderson, the pitcher for the A's, I should say, wasn't enough for the A's to avoid getting swept by the Blue Jays, though. The Toronto Blue Jays get the win 5-4 in Oakland, and they will look to bounce back when they continue their homestand with the Rangers at the Coliseum tomorrow. Still always have that play there, though. Earlier this week, the Oakland Athletics did something that they're not known for doing, however, and that is signing one of their young up-and-coming stars to a contract extension to keep them rooted in Oakland. Yeah, that means more salutes like this from the young talent Chris Davis. The A's and Davis agreeing to a 2-year extension to keep the slugger in the East Bay. Davis even appearing to take less money to stay in Oakland. He's been the most productive power hitter in the game during his time with the Athletics. Among the league leaders in home runs this season, he's the American League leader. He's even hit more home runs than Bryce Harper and Giancarlo Stanton over the last few years, and those guys are making over $300 million. So even though he's a man of few words off the baseball field, Chris Davis's manager, Bob Melvin, says the young star leads by example.
For a guy that, doesn't say much publicly, if you see our post-game celebrations and you talk about leadership, he's usually right in the middle of all of those. So there's a time when he does speak, and his teammates know that. He's a huge part of this team, and an exciting day for all of us.
I just love coming to the ballpark. That's where I spend most of my days coming. The Coliseum, like just the players I get to play with. It's been over the years I've been with Oakland, I've learned a lot.
All right, so if you're an A's fan, the team wants to see you at the state capitol tomorrow afternoon. The team is holding a rally for AB 1191. That's in support of the development for their new ballpark at the waterfront of Jack London Square in Oakland. That goes along with the housing and retail they're hoping to develop there. So it's all going down tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. The rally will be taking place in front of the state capitol on 10th Street. And here in the capital city, the River Cats hosting the Salt Lake Bees this afternoon. Beautiful weather for some baseball here, and no place like Raley Field as Sacramento collects 3 hits and 2 RBI from their batter there, Abadal Avellino there, the starting pitcher Tyler Beatty, with another strong outing for the River Cats, who win their 3rd straight, swatting the Bees today by a final score of 3-2. When we come back on Toyota Sports Extra on ABC 10, the Kings have a new head coach, and it's Luke Walton. The Luke Walton era is here, folks. We'll take you inside his introduction along with Kings GM Vlade Divac. And another big development for Sacramento's push for Major League Soccer. We've got what you need to know about the MLS coming to the 916.
Toyota Sports Extra will be right back. You're watching Toyota Sports Extra.
Welcome back. If you tuned in last week, you'll remember ABC 10 sports producer Sean Cunningham and I were on this very stage talking about the Kings going after Luke Walton as their new head coach, and that a formal announcement should be coming as soon as Monday. Well, that would be tomorrow. Last week, well, that announcement did come on Monday morning, in fact, and Luke Walton and his era officially ushered in Sacramento, the capital city, the second stop in the young coach's NBA career. Of course, he spent the last 3 seasons with the Lakers. He was joined by Kings general manager and former Lakers teammate Vlade Divac during Monday's introductory news conference with local media and national media as well. You can watch the whole thing on our ABC 10 YouTube channel, as well as our local coverage. And Walton and Divac fielding questions about how quick the hiring process went, what it was like about Luke's style that made him a perfect fit for this young team, and if the Lakers connection is adding any fuel to the rivalry for the new head coach here in Sacramento. That's something I had to ask him when we had a chance to go one-on-one with Luke Walton as his new head coach for the Sacramento Kings.
Of course, you know this fan base very well, so how do you kind of put aside your Lakers allegiance to win over this Kings fan base?
For me, it's easy, and I always, I always love the Lakers and have a place in my heart for them. I've had a lot of history with them, but my job is to coach the Sacramento Kings, and I'm thrilled to have this opportunity. And everything I have, all my energy and efforts are going to go into this, and I look forward to getting to work and meet some of this Sacramento fan base.
I'm so excited. Yeah, Luke was my one of the candidates before. After I took the job 3-4 years ago. Right. But obviously he wasn't available, and somehow it worked very well for both sides. And Boone was meant to be after 3 years, not 3 years ago.
Did you have any intention or desire to even consider or seriously consider other coaches, or Luke was the target that you had been waiting for?
Well, Luke was my number one choice. If he wasn't available there, I already had the plans to, and I actually reached out to some of the agents just to make sure that we set the meetings. But when Luke was available on Friday, he came here to Sacramento, we talked, and was nothing to wait for.
We hear people who go, we could have coached the Warriors to 50 wins and into the playoffs with that kind of talent. How do you look at that?
I would love to watch them go in there and coach that group. I won a championship with that group, and I love them. But I'd love to see some people walk in there and try to do that. What Steve did was absolutely incredible. And when I went up there with Steve to Golden State and got out there on the court mixing it up with the players, and I found that same passion, I knew this was where I wanted to do.
Again, you can find much more coverage on our ABC 10 YouTube channel, but a couple more tidbits from Coach Walton's introduction. He'll be assembling his coaching staff in the coming weeks, and he will not be coaching Summer League. Of course, the California Classic coming here in the first week of July. We did have a chance to meet with some of the Kings players. Who were in town last week. So Coach Walton's saying he's looking forward to learning more about this young group and hopefully take them to the next level. Turning to soccer now, Sacramento taking another big step forward toward making Major League Soccer dreams a reality here in the capital city. ABC 10's Madison Meyer is breaking down the latest developments and answering the biggest questions surrounding Sacramento's push for MLS.
Soccer fans, heads up. We have a little bit of an update about the plan to bring an MLS team to Sacramento, and we're answering 3 of the main questions for you. What happened today that has everyone so excited? The MLS announced that they are expanding to 30 teams. Right now they have 27, so they have 3 spots open, and for Sacramento, it's looking pretty good. The MLS has passed on Sacramento before, so why is this time different?
We feel good, but it's because of the work that's gone on up until today, and the work that we know still needs to go on.
Our city, Sacramento, is on the precipice of becoming one of the 2 next major league cities.
Sacramento Mayor Dale Steinberg, with a Sac Republic ball in hand, believes the city is ready and has been for some time, which leads us to number 2. How ready is Sacramento?
I think that's one of the things actually that has given us a leg up here, is that our stadium plan is not some vision, it's not some speculation. It is actually a plan that is ready to be built.
Remember seeing these renderings? Take a look, especially if you haven't seen them. The City Council voted yes to build this $252 million stadium in the Sac Rail Yards, just north of downtown.
We're ready. We're ready to cut ribbons. We're ready to welcome Major League Soccer to Sacramento.
And now 3. What's next? Sacramento will join other cities to make their final bid to the MLS. Their biggest competition is St. Louis. A decision is expected to be made by the MLS All-Star Game in Orlando on July 31st. Mayor Steinberg is not worried, though.
We stuck with it. And to be named loud and clear in that announcement this afternoon, I'm very, very happy on behalf of our city.
It's a big step, not the final step, but a big step in the process, and we're looking forward to working with the commissioner and MLS in the time ahead to get this done.
Our thanks to Madison Meyer. You can find full interviews with Republic FC President Ben Gumfert and Sacramento Mayor Darryl Steinberg on the Spurts page at abc10.com. Certainly good news for Sacramento. They've been working a lot of years to make this a reality, so another formal presentation is on the horizon for Republic as all eyes turn to the MLS All-Star Game coming up in Orlando on July 31st. And we are just days away from the NFL Draft right here on ABC 10. And this week's Sports Standout, I'll show you the football stars from our area who could hear their name called.
Toyota Sports Extra will be right back. You're watching Toyota Sports Extra.
Well, for the first time ever, ABC 10 will be your home for the NFL Draft beginning on Thursday in Nashville. And we know Sacramento is a hotbed for football talent. So here's a quick look at some of the local stars you should be on the lookout for during this week's NFL Draft. Happy Easter. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.